ChatGPT projects are insanely good. Honestly, I think they've become my favorite AI feature, period. They keep me organized and productive across every single part of my work as an entrepreneur and a content creator. And you'll see, OpenAI just made them even better a few weeks ago. This video is about showing you 6 practical ways I use ChatGPT projects right now to work faster and more productively. So if you've never used ChatGPT projects before, or if you've opened one and thought, meh, what now? Then I guarantee you that this video is going to give you a solid reason to go back and take another look. Let's do this. All right, let's get started, guys. This is the ChatGPT homepage. And for those of you who have never created a project or used a project before, I'm going to start by quickly showing you how to create one. Okay, so open your side menu right here, and right under these main menu items, probably underneath Atlas, you should see a button that says New Project. Okay, so click on that. This will open this window. And by the way, OpenAI made projects available to all users. It used to be a paid feature, but recently they decided to make it free, and they didn't make a big fuss about it. They just made it free. So that's a good news for everyone, I guess. So when you create a new project, obviously you want to name your project. Let's say I want to do a couple project with Diana. So couple project, you can click on that little emoji to change the color of the folder. Let's go for a nice green. You can choose an emoji like so. So the heart will work. Or you can also, and that's something I like to do, use custom emojis just to give the project title a little extra visibility and personalization. That's it, really. When you are done, you just click on Create Project. If you paid close attention, you should see this little cog right here. If you click on that, you can choose what type of memory will your project have. We'll come back to this a bit later. For now, let's just create this project. And there you go. Once your project is created, you will land on the project's base or homepage if you want. For now, it's empty because we haven't yet added or started any new conversation. But from here, if I start a new chat from this prompt box right here, it will be organized in my project. So that's how you start a project. Now, let's dive into these practical ways I use them for my business. And I'm going to be using some real life examples of projects we have been working on as a business. So this should also give you a little peek behind the curtain of what we are cooking. The real strength of the ChatGPT project and the base functionality of them is really to keep your conversations organized, okay? The most basic way to use the project is to consider them as a folder. So just a folder where you can organize your conversations, group your conversations. So this is basic, but it is so useful in ChatGPT because right now, this is what it looks like. You see this section right here, says project. I have my projects, can see all of them right here. They are here on top. But then if I scroll down a bit, I have an infinite list of previous past conversations, which I don't remember. Sometimes they are important, sometimes they are not. So the one thing I would recommend you do is that you start by organizing and thinking, okay, what are the different things I do in ChatGPT? What are the different projects? What are the different tasks I give to ChatGPT? And create projects for each of them. This is kind of what I've done here. So I have a personal project. I have one where I do design critiques and I use ChatGPT to help me kind of structure these critiques. One for the team, one for YouTube, one for LinkedIn, one for Nano Banana prompts and stuff like that. VO3, cooking classes. So this is personal as well. All sorts of different projects right here. And the most recently used ones are the ones that show first. So start by doing this. Use them as a basic folder and drag conversation into them. How do we do this? Well, let me show you this couple project that I just started. So let's say I want to put one of the conversation, like this conversation right here, OBS resolution fix. If I want to bring that into the project, I can simply take it and move it right here. You see, I just dragged it inside my project and now it's right here. That's one way you could do that. If you think you made a mistake and brought this conversation and it shouldn't be here, you can always click on the 3 little dots and remove from the project. It will go right back where it belonged in the unfiltered, unclassified conversations right here. So that's one way to move conversations in and out of projects. Another way would be to just simply find one. So graffiti art prompt. You could click on that three little dots, and then you'll see move to project, a button right here, and you can use that to move a conversation to any of your projects. Okay, so that would be another way. So I could move it to the couple project, and then it will show up right here. Now, let me show you another feature I often use in combination with this one, with the organizing functionality, and that is the search chat feature. Okay, so ChatGPT allows you to search through your chats, your conversations. The option should be really high up the menu here, so search chats. And once you click here, you can start searching your chats for keywords. So let's search for the keyword Diana, run this search, and then ChatGPT will surface all the conversations that contain that specific keyword. Okay, so let's just find one. Okay, claim Apple TV offer. I'm not sure what this was, but if I click here, I have this conversation. It's just me trying to figure out something. Let's say I want to share this with Diana. Then from here, I can click on that three little dots right here, and then again, move to project. So I could move to the couples project. I did a quick refresh, and now I can see both conversations here. Now, how could this be useful for your business? Well, let me show you a more recent and actually real project. The couples project is just for the sake of the example. Lately, we have been working as a team on a project called the RonDi CoLab, which is our membership offer that we are planning to launch in January. So we have been really working hard, and you see all of these conversations. Yeah, so it's really useful to have a folder in ChatGPT or workspace dedicated to that specific project, because I know that all the conversation have or are covering a part of that project. And it's just like, I don't need to search through my chat. I know I just need to come right here, click on the RonDi CoLab, and access all of these conversations. So a real time saver and a real way to stay focused. A few weeks ago, OpenAI made projects even better by allowing people to share them with teammates or with anyone really that has access to the link. So this obviously has been a game changer because it allows us and allows teams to work together in ChatGPT to continue each other's conversations. So let's get into that. Let's see how we can leverage this functionality to collaborate on a ChatGPT project with our team. And again, I want to use the real life project we are working on as a team right now, the RonDi CoLab. Okay, so these are all the conversations, and you will see there's a bunch from RH. So that's me, Ronnie Hermosa. There's a few from DM, Diana Munoz. And then there's a few ones from GB. That is Guy, our copywriter. And yeah, she has been invited to this project. So how do you invite people to your project? So I am here on the project space, right? Make sure you are on the project space. Let me show you from the couples project. That would be easier because I haven't invited anyone yet to this one. So the button is here, share project. Okay, so once you click here, you should see this window, and you can do two things. You can invite people by typing their emails. So if I typed Diana's email here, I could find her and invite her. So the invite would be sent to her. Kind of like you invite someone to your Canva project. You can do the same here. That's one thing. And you see the default option here. So who has access to your project? Only those people who you invited. So if I send the email to Diana, she will show up here. Once she accepts to join my project, she will have access to it because I invited her. The other option is to change the default to anyone with a link right here. And now I can copy that link. So let me copy the link right here and move to another ChatGPT account that I have. So this is the other account. You see, this is the free account. The other one was my plus account. So it doesn't really matter. But what I want to show you is that if I paste, let me open a new window. I paste the link right here. It will show me this conversation, like this message box. This is what I wanted to show you. Team RonDi is inviting you to the project Couples project. So if you accept it, if you accept to join the project, you will get direct access to the conversations that I have stored in the project. And now we can see a second user in that project. TR for Team RonDi has joined me. And then let's go back to the original account. This one right here. I'll do a quick refresh and there you go. You see the second user is now using that same project. What does it mean for that team member to have been able to join the project? Well, let's find out. Let's get back to that other account, the free account right here. So as a new member, I can view the conversations. Okay, so all of these conversations that have been stored in the project, I can continue them. So I could prompt here and continue to get access to the context to whatever has been discussed right here in this conversation. So that's pretty cool. Or I could start a new conversation simply by typing it right here, and it will show up in the other account. So in the other person's account, so me, right here, it will show up as a new conversation. I think OpenAI and ChatGPT wants you to really move your operating system right here inside ChatGPT. Now, for someone like me, this is night and day because I was the guy in our team who was always chatting with ChatGPT, having these interesting conversations, and my teammate didn't really have access to that. And I didn't really have a way to share these conversations with them. So I had to copy and paste long pieces of conversation or screenshots and paste that into a document or into Slack. But now I can just invite them over and be part of that conversation. So I have the working with my team and I have that super teammate ChatGPT with his super intelligence always here to assist us as a team to work on our project. So this feature alone is for me a game changer. Let's continue. Another thing that makes projects so powerful is that you can basically provide them all the knowledge that you want them to have. Okay, this is what I call the knowledge base, but really ChatGPT calls this files. So you should see a button right here. Let me show you from a blank project. So the couple project, you should see this button that says add file. When you click here, you have the possibility to upload all sorts of documents. You could upload a spreadsheet, a photo, a PDF, a Google Doc, whatever you have really. So you can just drop that document right here to start building up your library of knowledge, your knowledge base, right? So let me show you what an actual knowledge base looks like in the RonDi CoLab project. So here, I have 7 files. I'm going to click here. Just a little bit of context about what the RonDi CoLab is. It's Diana and I's next product, the evolution of what we want to be teaching with Team RonDi. Okay, so for a very long time, we've been teaching about Canva and about AI tools and create online courses, but this is good and we still love that, but we want to go the next level. And the next level for us is going to be a membership product where members will learn with us to create a content business like we have done with Team RonDi. And we want to accompany these people in their entrepreneurial journey and share our experience, the mistakes we've made, in different forms. So that's what we are building with the RonDi CoLab. And if you're interested in this new project, there will be a link in the description. Maybe you are trying to build your business, or maybe you already have a business that you created, but you feel stuck. So join the waitlist. We'll send you more information via email to kind of let you know where we are and explain into more detail what we are building so you can see if it's for you. It's not going to be for everyone, but for a portion of you guys, I think this could be very useful. So that's what we are building. And what you see here are the different files that we have been adding to the knowledge base. Now, I would like to share with you a workflow that I have been using in this particular project, the RonDi CoLab. And this is the first time I work this way in ChatGPT in order to create files that are kind of laser focused. Okay, this one is laser focused on the content scope. This one is laser focused on the content delivery model. This one is laser focused on the positioning. How did I come up with this? Well, from my main conversation with ChatGPT, the RonDi CoLab membership structure and messaging. And you will find that you often have one conversation, which is your back and forth brainstorming with the AI. This is where the good ideas kind of sprout. So I have been working on a refined positioning. Once I got to a good point, I thought, okay, now it's time I really nailed down this positioning. So what I did, I came back to my project. I started a new conversation. Okay, so this one right here, I gave it a little pencil emoji so I know this one is the final draft. Like this one is where I nailed this one specific point because I want to export this as a PDF that I can then upload back into the project as a file. Okay, so that's my workflow. Now let's click on that specific conversation because I want to show you a few more tricks to achieve that outcome faster. So your exported PDF with a laser focus. Okay, so the way I work with this is starting with this prompt based on everything you already know about the RonDi CoLab membership. So this long conversation we've had on the other conversation. Now that you know what we are trying to build, help me define the positioning of this membership. Include all of the ingredients a positioning document should include. And then starting giving me some really focused document insight about where we are, why we exist, the scope of the curriculum, the monthly delivery model, etc., etc. Okay, and I don't want to spoil the membership yet for you guys because there's a lot of like stuff that might be changing then. Like this is work in progress, but I got to a really good place. And once I did, I asked it, okay, can you open all of this in Canvas mode? Canvas mode, let me click here to show you. Canvas mode is basically the possibility for you to open an editor inside ChatGPT, a text editor. So this is the result of my formatted document in Canvas mode. Okay, this is pretty much ready to print. Positioning of this membership, it's a monthly program where creators learn the real systems behind building a content-based business guided by two people who have actually done it. That's the positioning in one sentence. But I have a whole document right here that explains everything it is. Okay, so once I had all of that ready to print, nicely formatted, I could just use the three little dots right here and click download as a PDF document. Could choose another format, but PDF works just fine. I got my PDF, then I came back to my project right here and added this PDF to the files, okay? And that's how I got all of these strategic documents, the positioning, delivery model, content scope, value proposition, etc. So this workflow has worked tremendously well because in the next conversations, ChatGPT is going to refer to the positioning, refer to the content scope, refer to the value proposition, and you're just building that library of knowledge and making ChatGPT more and more and more focused. So this feature is just an excellent way to stay focused when you work on projects. Now let me show you another very useful feature. I don't think I have added custom instructions to this particular project right here. So the way you find your custom instructions, you need to go to the three little dots, click here, and then add instructions. Okay, so this second item right here, when you click here, you have a whole window here where you can explain how can ChatGPT better help you with this project. Okay, so you can give it specific instructions about the formatting of the answers, the role it's supposed to play, etc., etc. I don't have any here, but let me show you another project of mine, the YouTube project, where I have set some custom instructions. So this one, for me, the YouTube project is a project that will help me be better at whatever I do for YouTube. You'll see a bunch of files here, but that's not what I want to show you here. What I want to show you is the custom instructions. So you have your custom instructions. So here I ask ChatGPT to act as a YouTube growth strategic coach and use the content in all the files I have uploaded in the project to deliver specific advice to a user on how to grow views, watch time, subscribers, revenue, likes, and comments on YouTube. Do not sugarcoat things, be specific, only draw knowledge from the provided files and cite the file in which you found the information as your source. Okay, so these are the custom instructions. They will allow you to really, attribute a role to ChatGPT for this specific project. I love that you don't have to modify your overall custom instructions for the entire account, but that you can be, again, laser focused is the best way I could think of saying that to work on specific projects. So use the custom instructions, think carefully about what you want ChatGPT to be. How can it help with this specific project? Also, you can be creative about this. If you want the output, for example, to only be bullet points, you can ask that. Like your output should only be bullet points. All right, so that was custom instruction. Let's move on to the next feature. Something we can now do for project is to decide what kind of memory does ChatGPT have access to. So I teased that at the beginning of the tutorial when we were creating the project. Remember we had to choose between two different types of memories. Well, the way you adjust that is by clicking on that little dot hamburger menu and project settings. Okay, once you're in project settings, you should get to the same place where you can edit the name of your project, but also this little cog icon, the one that we clicked at the beginning. So from here, you would see now the memory, but it's a bit too late when you are already a few conversations deep. You need to set that before you start adding conversations to your project. So you can have your default memory where a project can access memories from outside chats and vice versa, meaning that it's not a confined space. Your project is your project and the files will be organized there. But ChatGPT, in terms of understanding and knowledge, has all of the context of your previous conversations, all of the stuff that is not organized. Okay, it will have that on top of its mind, so to speak. Or you can decide that the memory is project only. So this means that whatever is in the project stays in the project. Okay, so ChatGPT outside of the project would not have memory of what's inside the project and vice versa. So it's really up to you to decide. But I figured in our RonDi CoLab project, which is the most extensive project we've done in ChatGPT, is that the memory is more focused when it's project only because it's not diluted with whatever you might have done before. And one concrete example. So I have already brainstormed some target audience definition, like who is our target audience? And it's something we always try to refine as creators with ChatGPT sometimes. So if we have a conversation like that outside of the project, but then for the project, we are focusing on a different segment of our target audience, ChatGPT's memory could be kind of contaminated by what has been said before. And sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want the project to be only focused on what we are currently working on. So having project only turned on right here will allow you to do just that, to work in a silo, the silo of that project. Now, we have one more feature to go. I hope you are enjoying this tutorial and the content on this channel in general. If you do, subscribe. This is a new channel, relatively new. We're still growing it. We are only 4,000 subscribers here. So if you enjoy these AI workflows, these non-technical AI videos, subscribe because I have a few more. I have a bunch more actually for you ready to go. So subscribe to the channel and let's finish up with the last feature. The last good practice I would like you to adopt is to always organize your ChatGPT account in general, but project in particular. Okay, so this could mean a few different things, but the goal is for you to have clarity, and especially if you're working with other people in that specific project, people need to understand what is what and how to find things clearer. So I have come up with a few things. First, as you can see, the name of my projects. So choose a naming convention. Let me collapse this project. I like to have 2 emojis for the normal projects. And then some projects are specific. Like you see this one right here, it's the design critique project. It's a different kind of project. So I have only 1 emoji and it's a ChatGPT emoji. Okay. I have this one right here, the email assistant. This is where I always go and seek ChatGPT's help to write emails, right? This is something I do several times a day. So I figured instead of starting a new chat every time I need ChatGPT to help me with an email, and then I ended up with all of these random chats and random emails, I thought, let's just have one conversation right here. And I have draft this email for me where I usually go and talk to my microphone, give it the gist of how to respond or draft an email, and then it will write it nicely for me. Okay. And then I can move on with my life. I don't have to have all of these projects. They're all focused in here. But anyways, what I want to show you is you can use these little emojis not only in the project title, but also in the conversation. So for example, this one right here is a conversation with Kyle, our coach, strategic coach, who is helping us launch the membership in January. So we have sessions with Kyle, and this particular chat is all the transcripts of the sessions, the calls we have with Kyle. So I can remember, and if we have a question about, hey, remember what Kyle said about about this, I can go to this conversation and search for that specific or ask ChatGPT to tell me what Kyle said about this or this thing. So it has a little like red dot. This is the emoji I use for, okay, this is live recording or recording. Similarly, all of these documents that we have fine-tuned and exported as files, remember all of these? Well, I have put them with a little pencil, meaning, okay, these are the strategic documents that we have exported and worked in the canvas mode. Remember canvas mode? So they are all editable here with the little pencil icon. And then this one right here, creating a community around your brand. This is an example of one specific module for the membership, like content module that I have started to develop. So I put it a little like student's hat right here because it's part of the curriculum. Okay. So yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to show you. Really take some time to think about naming conventions, think about visual aids that will help you remember what conversations are, what the different projects are. And also super important, and I'm going to do this right here. Once you're done with a project or don't need it anymore, don't forget to delete it. Okay, clean them up. But one thing you need to know is that the conversation inside a project, if you delete the project, will be deleted from your account. Okay, so these two conversations, if I delete my project, they're gone. They're not coming back outside of the project. So make sure to remove them from the project before you actually delete the project. Gone. All right, guys, this was it for me, my 6 practical ways to use ChatGPT Projects. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give us a like, follow us on this channel, and make sure to check out the RonDi CoLab waiting list. There's a link in the description. This is going to be a really cool program if you're trying to build a content business, or if you have a business but need to create content to promote that business. This is our membership launching in January. So yeah, check it out and we'll send you more info. I'll see you in the next video.